Today, let's welcome a young gifted influencer of Sarah Sukaina art. Sarah has created some amazing pieces that celebrate the American spirit as well as capture our president, Donald J. Trump, and his great love for our country. It's so refreshing to see our younger generation express the same love for our country as older Americans and to express it and share it with the world. Welcome, Sarah.
Thank you, Will. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
I'm very excited to be here.
Yeah, it's been a road with this picture. You painted this 2 years ago,
Yes.
right? When he was on the campaign trail.
Correct.
And tell us, a little bit about your inspiration in painting the photo, particularly of the president. And then we'll talk a little bit about your website and some of your other art that you do, which isn't political.
Okay.
Right? And isn't America First focused.
Right. Okay. Awesome. Yeah. Exactly as you said, I painted this during Donald Trump's campaign tour, and it really represented to me a way for me to express my appreciation and gratitude for what he has done for the country and very specifically for my generation, because I went to college. My first year was during COVID, and yeah, we all as a campus at this college experienced a lot of collective fear and a lot of just control, whether it was outright or more under the surface. But
Right.
it was a time where it was very difficult to be inspired about that chapter in our lives, which should be a very exciting and inspiring point where you're deciding what your vision for your life is going to be and pursuing it. So I found that this was the best way that I could thank Donald Trump for reigniting that inspiration and that passion for my generation.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was a gift.
Very cool. So now, did you graduate? Was your high school graduation affected by COVID?
It was. I did not have a traditional graduation. Instead, we did like a drive-through graduation, which was an interesting way to accommodate for COVID.
Did you get a burger and fries with it?
Right.
Was it just a drive-through?
It was definitely not ideal. I am upset that I didn't experience my high school graduation, especially because a lot of those kids I grew up with from middle school and on. And yeah, it was just a nice end to an era. But instead, we did decorate our cars and drive in a circle, and
Right.
it was unique in that way, for sure.
Nice.
Yeah.
So your inspiration for this was a photo, or was it a scene that you had seen the president hugging the flag, or was it just your inspiration interpretation of, his love for our country?
I did paint this from a photo of President Trump hugging the flag, but I will say that what is mine is just the flavor of what I wanted to capture. That, there was a video clip that I found, and yeah, I chose this exact moment because I feel, his emotion and love for the country, and I really wanted to capture that specifically.
Yeah.
So it was.
Yeah, and we've been trying to get this picture to the president. Unfortunately, right around the time that we were making some headway is when Butler happened, right? And then the president's security went into a whole different gear. And so, the ideal would be that this is hanging at Mar-a-Lago or one of his clubs or even in the White House as a message, a symbol of how much he has affected your generation.
Yeah, I do appreciate the entire team effort that it has taken to really get it to him. But yeah, for me, I feel that painting it and getting to share the message of what I feel for him and that gratitude, I hope that he feels that and it inspires him at the very least from a distance. But Yeah, it would be amazing to get it to
Yeah,
him.
I mean, I've seen a lot of artwork that people have painted in Mar-a-Lago
Right.
and in different places at the club, and so he definitely does, like to hang that. So it'd be
Yeah.
great to see this hung
Yeah.
instead of in a storage room or something like that. So
Definitely.
so let's talk a little bit about the younger generation view while you were going to school and around the time that you painted this. Did you find alignment with people in your generation? Was it some people aligned, some people didn't? Like, what was your feelings or experience while you were painting this in the people that surrounded you of your generation?
Yeah, that's a great question. I do feel that it was split. There were a lot of people who I felt, were huge supporters of Donald Trump, but at the same time were more quiet about it, and others who were blatantly not a fan or a supporter.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, generally speaking, people like Charlie Kirk made me so happy to see, and I so appreciated contributions like that because to really be able to get in the face of a large group of very impressionable people during a very important time in their life, and before the election, it shifted so much, and I feel like those of us of this generation who are ready to align and see what the vision is and how amazing it is, they really were able to shift and jump
Yeah.
on board.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Do you feel that that your generation, that showing love and respect and admiration for America, right, and the American flag, and President Trump, and I kind of feel like this is a grand gesture of expressing your views, very publicly,
Yes.
right? It's
Yes.
it's different to sign a petition or put a Trump sticker on your car, right? This is putting your name out there. This is your artwork. This is your company, and this is the product of your work. When you look at the younger generation, did you feel that sense of censorship for your views and the expression of your views on your campus, or was it a little balanced?
No, there was absolutely censorship, and it was very outward and public. And I felt I can just use an example with masks during COVID, when this was past the time that masks were required, and now they're just suggested. And that's in quotes, suggested mask use. So you get to class, and the professor hasn't walked in yet, and all of these kids, nobody has a mask on. They're all, going to bars together, sororities, fraternities, all this stuff. So
Right.
we're just hanging out before class starts, and everyone's having a great time. And the professor walks in, and everyone immediately would just put their mask on. And if you were one of the few who didn't, I was looking at everyone like, I don't understand what the intention behind that is or the reason behind it is.
Yeah.
But it did take bold courage for those of us who decided, I don't believe that this is an integrity for me, and I don't want to stand for the control or
Yeah.
feeling afraid in that way. So,
And the funny or the ironic part of it is that you went to school at a state university in Florida,
correct.
right? And
Yes.
so we as Floridians have this view like, oh, well, we were the outliers, right?
Right.
And that, we expressed our freedom and we had a governor that supported our freedom, et cetera. But in the higher education institutions, you didn't feel that same freedom that normal citizens could feel in their own communities.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I never went to another college campus, so I can't compare it to an out-of-state school or anything, but that was my personal experience, was that there was still even with DeSantis as our governor and the values that we do stand for in Florida, there was still a lot of at least subliminal messaging going on at the very least. So.
Yeah. So I can really feel why you needed to paint this.
Yes.
Right? Because this was your way of expressing to the world, right? We do have a champion. We do have someone who loves our country, who's not afraid to love our country, who's not afraid to express that love for our country, and can be a symbol to the generation who chooses to be awake and aware of what's really happening in the world rather than just settling for the status quo, to your point about all the kids who put their masks on as soon as the professor walked in.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
That's a lack of courage. That's a lack of integrity, right? If you're going to go out all night and not wear a mask to come into class and then wear a mask because you feel you should, right? That's not adult integrity. Adult integrity is all parts of your life, not just the moments when people see you. Right?
Fully agreed. Yes. And this is one of the major reasons why I have so much appreciation for President Trump, because he is one of the biggest role models for being in integrity. What he says he's going to do, he does. Yeah. And to have a leader like that, I feel is a huge step, especially for my generation, because essentially we are making that a call to action. We want our country and our future to be in integrity. This is what we want to stand for, and we are going to stand for it. And with somebody like President Trump leading the way, leading the nation, we now are able to feel that inspiration and that possibility and that potential and opportunity in all the things that come with it. I didn't feel this way before President Trump, and I feel that, with so many of the people in this generation who are now taking that bold stand, there is just so much excitement and passion to explore and pursue.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
I'm gonna jump off for a second about economy, right? Okay. What's your level of optimism? Well, actually, I'll ask you I'll keep two questions together. One is, what's your level of optimism about the next 4 years of your life, having experienced 6 months roughly of President Trump, and what do you feel for your generation is the level of optimism for the future beyond these 4 years?
Amazing question. Yes. Well, as is the basis of America and the American dream and all of this, is everybody has the potential to create their own life, their own success. And I feel that those of us in the collective nation who don't believe that or don't want to pursue that, they won't. But those of us who do want that, I have full faith in that. I believe that I am already in the process, and I'm enjoying that process of building that for myself. This is what the excitement behind all of this is. And this generation has more entrepreneurs and visionaries and business owners and hustlers and skilled tradespeople than ever before. So it's onward and upward, really.
Awesome. And did you feel that way when we were looking at the potentiality of a Kamala Harris presidency? No. Not that it really had any potential, but she was on the ballot, right? So
correct. Yes. No, I did not feel that way. I do feel that if that somehow could have even possibly happened, that my generation, and I'm going to just speak for myself, I would not feel nearly as inspired. Like there was very much opportunity for me, and I really wouldn't feel aligned with the values that we were working toward anyway. So it's already a conflict of interest, which kills my passion personally.
Yeah. And so I'm going to ask you a question, because Kamala Harris is a woman, and she was running under the, trying to get the message out that I'm a woman and you should follow me as a woman, right? Now, you being a woman in the younger generation, do you find any issue with following President Trump, following the masculine, following the man?
None at all. It's an honor, and good leadership from men or women are, it's very rare. If it's a good in integrity leadership, it's heroic.
Yeah.
So I don't care if you're a man or a woman, you have to be able to get the job done. You have to do it in integrity. You have to stand for the values that we all are aligned with and want to create. And there are plenty of powerful, sophisticated, capable women that are amazing leaders.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's nothing to do with, oh, she's a woman, she XYZ. It doesn't matter to me personally.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. So you touched a little bit about, what you're building and building your future. So we're going to take a look at your website because there's some other pictures that you've done that celebrate the American spirit. And one of them in particular, we want to take a look at. So if you want to explain to us how to get on your website. So this is your website. If you want to give us the URL.
Sure, the URL is www.sarah, S-A-R-A-H, Sukaina, S-U-K-A-I-N-A, art.com.
Awesome. And so where would you, so these are some other pieces you do. Would you tell us a little bit about your range while we kind of scroll through the website, and then we'll get into the cowboy picture.
Amazing. Yes, that is between this one and the cowboy picture, those are my top two favorite pieces I've ever created. I really focus on the feminine and the beauty of the feminine, whether that's women, nature, the water, the ocean. Of course, we live in Florida, so it is important to me to really emphasize bringing back that natural element. But there on the bottom left, you can see that cowboy painting. It's called The Future Generation of America. And this painting I created for a friend of mine who asked for a painting to go on this ranch called Freedom Ranch in Okeechobee, Florida. And he didn't give me much direction, but I felt what he wanted to capture, and I felt the beauty of the ranch and what it symbolizes. And there was a Pastor John, living on the ranch at the time. He was an amazing man, and he had 3 young grandchildren. So I just felt that it was what I wanted to create, and to me it represents what beauty the next generation coming up is going to continue with.
Yeah, it's an amazing piece. Mr. Glenn, unfortunately, passed away last year. Pastor Glenn, he had Church in the Woods.
Church in the Woods.
Amazing property, and really, so few of us have an opportunity. Nature for us becomes going to the park.
Right.
And that's really not nature, right? If anybody has the opportunity to go to a ranch, to experience riding horses, being around cows, maybe even working a farm, you really get to understand the generations of America, right?
Absolutely.
And that picture is a great embodiment of the generations of America, and how, just looking at that picture of the 3 boys kind of sitting on the rail, imagining what they're looking at, right? Are they looking at dad lassoing a bull? Are they looking at, somebody competing in a rodeo?
Right.
Right. But that's like the true American spirit. And
Absolutely.
So it's such an amazing picture. So
Thank you very much.
yeah. And that was a gift, right, to Mr. Glenn.
Right.
And it's at the ranch. Will you be doing any copies of it?
I am selling limited edition prints, canvas prints, as well as fine art paper prints. They're available on my website, and there will be 20 limited edition pieces.
Awesome. And so the picture of the president, that's a 1. We just want to get it to him.
Correct.
Right? Get it to him as a gift to him, never to be reproduced again.
Right.
Strictly for his viewing pleasure.
Exactly.
Appreciation. It was what stands out for me about this picture is that aspect of it, right? That it's a gift. It's a personal gift from you with your own personal expression, that embodies his love for our country. So yeah, we had talked about, what President Trump means for the future. If you had anything that you wanted to share, either with your generation or with people that are listening, what do you think people need to hear from your generation?
Wow. Well, I will just feel into what it is that I would like to hear from myself, I guess, which is just keep on trusting and going with what feels good and what I know is right for me, for the country, for the future. If it feels right, it probably is. And yeah, just have faith in where we're going, have faith in good, keep believing in that, and have faith in yourself and the greatness that you can contribute and will contribute to continue making America great again in your own contribution.
Yeah, I really feel that. I think a lot of us, because of news, because of, if you look at the financial markets, if you look at how many things are happening simultaneously around the world all the time, change is always uncomfortable. Right. And so, President Trump is definitely disrupting the status quo. He's disrupting the way things are done financially in the country. He's disrupting how tariffs have operated, how trade has operated, and with that is always going to be discomfort because the unknown, right? People fear the unknown. It's more comfortable to stay in the known. Well, I know that this is how markets work. This is how trade should work. This is how everything should work. And the reality is that there is something amazing on the other side, right? I guess a great example is when Moses tried to lead the Egyptians out of Egypt, right? How many people wanted to stay because it was known?
Secure.
Yeah. At least I know what my day looks like if I stay here.
Right.
But if not, I'm going to venture out into the wilderness, right, to this promised land.
Yes.
And there was 40 years in the desert, right, of challenges, of tribulations, et cetera. But all of those prepared the people for, what they were going to experience. Right. And so we're in that period, right? We're in the wilderness, and we just have to trust and have faith, that God has our back, that President Trump is working every day for us and leading us to that next step of America exceptionalism. And so, well, thank you so much for coming on the show today. I really appreciate it. And we look forward to, hearing news that President Trump has gotten his painting, and he's maybe we'll be lucky enough to see it hanging someplace. So that would be amazing. That would be amazing. Everybody, Sarah Sukaina art. Really appreciate your time today. Appreciate your input. This is The Source, rule breakers, lawmakers, and influencers exclusively on roarnetwork.us. Thank you all for joining us.